When people speak of propaganda, they wrongly believe that it is a method for spreading falsehoods, a tool wielded by specific powerful actors. Instead, it is an inherent feature of modern, technological society. There are two common misconceptions about propaganda. That propaganda consists only of lies and tall stories, and that propaganda aims to change opinions. In reality, modern propaganda often uses various forms of truth. Half-truths, limited truths, or truths out of context. Its primary goal is not to change opinions, but to intensify existing trends and provoke people to action or inaction and make individuals cling irrationally to a process of action, so that people believe that they are doing the right thing. Therefore, propaganda seeks to arouse a mythical belief rather than transform an opinion. Jacques Ellul, a French philosopher and sociologist, presented groundbreaking ideas about propaganda in his 1962 book Propaganda, The Formation of Men's Attitudes. His theories challenged the prevailing notions about propaganda at the time, and continue to provide valuable insights today. Ellul argued that propaganda should be viewed as a sociological phenomenon, a functioning of modern society, rather than just a psychological manipulation. He believed that propaganda is deeply embedded in technological societies and is necessary for their operation and expansion. Ellul saw propaganda as the Siamese twin of technological societies. He distinguished between two main types of propaganda. Agitation propaganda, which leads people from resentment to rebellion, and integration propaganda, which makes people adjust to desired patterns and conform to society. Ellul challenged the common belief that education is the best defense against propaganda. Instead, he argued that modern propaganda cannot function without education. He believed that the education system, as it exists today, actually makes people more susceptible to propaganda. Ellul rejected the simplistic notion that propaganda consists solely of lies and falsehoods. He argued that modern propaganda often uses many different kinds of truth, such as half-truths, limited truths, and truths taken out of context. Ellul believed that even accurate information can be used for propaganda purposes. For Ellul, propaganda is deeply embedded in modern technological societies because it is their very engine that allows them to function and expand. Modern technological societies cannot exist without propaganda. Why is that? Because propaganda is not something imposed upon us from the outside, by forces that we cannot control. Rather, propaganda is what we want. Therefore, propaganda exists in 8 succinct, yet interconnected categories. 1. Political propaganda is aimed at influencing political beliefs and behaviors, often associated with government policies and political parties. 2. Sociological propaganda focuses on shaping societal norms and values, influencing collective attitudes within a culture. 3. Agitation propaganda is designed to provoke unrest or dissatisfaction, encouraging individuals to take action against perceived injustices. 4. Integration propaganda works to promote conformity and stability, encouraging individuals to align with established social norms. 5. Commercial propaganda targets consumer behavior, promoting products or services to drive sales and establish brand loyalty. 6. Educational propaganda utilizes educational methods to disseminate information that aligns with specific ideological viewpoints, often blurring the lines between education and indoctrination. 7. Religious propaganda aims to influence spiritual beliefs and practices, promoting specific religious ideologies or recruiting followers. 8. Military propaganda garners support for military actions and shapes public perception of conflicts, emphasizing themes of patriotism and national security. Of these 8 types, political propaganda is considered the most influential today, because of its significant impact on shaping public opinion and political behavior in contemporary society. Political propaganda is utilized by governments and political entities to influence voter behavior, promote policies, and foster loyalty to political ideologies. Contrary to popular belief, Ellul argued that education does not protect against propaganda. Instead, he saw modern education as a form of pre-propaganda, conditioning minds with vast amounts of incoherent information. Ellul identified intellectuals as particularly vulnerable to propaganda due to their absorption of large amounts of unverifiable information, their need to have opinions on every important issue, and their belief in their ability to judge for themselves. Individuals in mass society are susceptible to propaganda as it provides a sense of purpose. It offers a personal involvement in important events. It becomes an outlet for doubtful impulses. And it gives a feeling of righteousness. Thus, propaganda is situated at the center of the growing powers of governmental and administrative techniques in a technological society. Differences in political regimes matter little. What matters more are differences in social levels and national self-awareness. Propaganda persuades human beings to submit to an integrated technological society with good grace. Ellul emphasizes that propaganda is not arbitrary but responds to a need, involving both active propagandists and willing participants who find satisfaction in it. It takes two to tango. Propaganda is a technique that creates societal myths rooted in group needs, not necessarily falsehoods. Ellul's work delves into the complexities of propaganda and goes beyond traditional views which only see it as a series of lies. Thus, Ellul's perspective rejects the notion of myth as falsehood, instead he views myth as a narrative with deep societal impact. Ellul regarded propaganda as the most harmful force in modern society, and he gave 5 key reasons of why propaganda is so dangerous. 1. Propaganda is not merely a tool used by specific individuals or groups, it is a pervasive sociological phenomenon that is integral to the functioning of modern society. Propaganda operates alongside technological advancements, suggesting that it is a necessary element for societal cohesion and expansion. 2. Many people mistakenly believe that propaganda consists solely of lies. In reality, modern propaganda utilizes various forms of truth, including half-truths and truths taken out of context, making it more insidious and effective. This complexity allows propaganda to manipulate public perception without relying on outright falsehoods. 3. Propaganda's primary goal is not just to change opinions but to intensify existing beliefs and drive individuals to action, through agitation, which incites rebellion, and integration, which encourages conformity to societal norms. This distinction underscores the dual nature of propaganda in shaping both dissent and compliance. 4. Individuals, especially those who consider themselves rational and immune to manipulation, are often the most susceptible to propaganda. This is due to their reliance on second-hand information and a desire to form opinions on complex issues, making them easy targets for propagandists. 5. Contrary to the belief that education protects against propaganda, Ellul posits that modern education often serves as a precursor to propaganda. He describes education as pre-propaganda, where individuals are conditioned with fragmented information which then prepares them to accept propagandistic narratives. Ellul's analysis and warnings about propaganda gain greater relevance today, when information is abundant and often manipulated. His insights encourage critical examination of the information consumed and highlight the importance of awareness regarding the mechanisms of propaganda in shaping societal attitudes and actions. Propaganda is what we think we need. And therein lies the greatest danger, because our needs can be manipulated. Freedom requires the highest form of self-awareness.